Hello, my name is Maruf Yasmin Shupti, and today I am going to present my topic on cloud architecture and business benefits. So, cloud computing has become an important part of modern business because it allows organizations to use computing resources such as servers, storage, application, and networking through the internet. In this presentation, I'll discuss four main areas. The first one is business benefits of cloud architecture. The second one is the example of cloud architecture. The third one is the service load balancing architecture. The fourth one is redundant storage architecture. So now I'll talk about what is cloud architecture. Cloud architecture is basically the design and structure of cloud computing environment. It includes different components such as server, storage system, database, network virtualization, security system, and software application. These components work together to provide service to user through the internet. For example, when we use an online application, we normally don't know where the physical server is located. There could provider manage the infrastructure in the background while we access the service through the internet. As well designed cloud architecture should be scalable, reliable, secure, and flexible. Scalability means that the system can increase or decrease resource depending on demand. Reliability means that the system should continue working even when some components fail. Cloud architecture is therefore very important for business because it determines how efficiently their application and data are managed. Now let's look about the cloud's benefit of architecture. Cloud architecture provides many important benefits to business. The first major benefit is cost reduction. Traditionally, business needs to purchase physical service, storage device, network equipment, and other hardware. They also need to maintain this system and pay for electricity and physical space. With cloud computing, business can use resources provided by cloud providers and generally pay according to their usage or subscription. This can reduce the need for large upfront infrastructure investments. The second benefit is scalability. For example, imagine an online shopping website during normal days. The may have a moderate number of customers. However, during a major sale, thousands of customers may visit the website at the same time. A cloud architecture can provide additional resources when demand increases and reduce resource the demand goes down. Another benefit is high availability. Cloud architecture can use multiple services and systems so that if one components fail, another components can continue provide the service. Cloud architecture also improve business flexibility. Employees can access cloud-based application and data from different locations as long as they have the appropriate internet access and permission. Another important benefit is business continuity and disaster recovery. Cloud services can provide backup and replicated resources, helping business recover more quickly after hardware failure or other disruption. Overall, cloud architecture helps business become more flexible, scalable, and efficient. Then I'll talk about the example of cloud architecture. There are several examples of cloud architecture used by organizations. The first example is public cloud architecture. In a public cloud, cloud resources are provided by a cloud provider and shared among multiple customers. Example of major cloud providers include Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. The second example is private cloud architecture. A private cloud is designed for a single organization that can provide greater control over infrastructure, security, and configuration. The third example is hybrid cloud architecture. A hybrid cloud combines private and public cloud environments. For example, a company may keep sensitive information in a private environment while using public cloud resources for other application. Another example is multi-cloud architecture. In a multi-cloud environment, an organization uses services from more than one cloud provider. This can help organization and avoid depending completely. No one provider can allow them to choose different services from different providers. There is also serviceless architecture. With serviceless computing, developers can run application code without directly managing the underlying server. Finally, we have microservices architecture, where an application is divided into smaller independent services. These different architecture can be selected based on an organization requirements such as cost, security, performance, and scalability. So service load balance architecture. Now I'll discuss about the service load balancing architecture. Load balancing is a very important concept in cloud computing. The main purpose of load balancer is to distribute incoming requests across multiple servers. Imagine that a company has an online application that thousands of users are accessing it at the same time. If all users send their requests to only one server, that server may become overloaded. As a result, the application may become slow or even stop responding. A load balancer solves this problem by distributing the incoming request among several servers. For example, suppose we have three servers, server 1, server 2, and server 3. When a user send a request, the request first reaches the load balancer. The load balancer then decides which server should handle the request. It may send one request to server 1, another request to server 2, another request to server 3. It allows the workload to be shared between the servers. Load balancing is therefore useful for improving application performance, availability, and scalability. Is especially important to website and application that receive a large number of users. And then let's look at the service load balancing architecture. Work step by step. First, a user send a request to an application. Instead of directly going to a particular services, the request goes to the load balancer. The load balancer receives the request and check the available services. It can use different methods to decide where to send the request. For example, on common method called round robin. In round robin, requests are distributed between servers in a sequence. Another approach is to send requests to a server that currently has fewer active connections or a lower workload. Another balancer can also perform health checks. A health check determines where a server is working properly. If server 2 has failed, the load balancer can stop sending requests to server 2 and send them to health servers instead. This is very important because users may not even notice the on servers has failed. Therefore, load uh, balancing provides both performance improvement and fault tolerance. And then talk about benefits of service and load balancing. the first benefit is better performance because requests are distributed across multiple servers. Individual servers are less likely to become overload. The second benefit is faster response time. When the workload is distributed efficiently, user can receive response more quickly. The third benefit is high availability. If one server fails, the another balancer can redirect queues to another available server. Another benefits of fault tolerance. Fault tolerance means that the overall system can continue working when one or more comments experience problem. Load balancing also provide easy scalability. For example, it is a business experience rapid growth and needs more computing capacity, it can add additional servers to the architecture. The load balancer can then distribute traffic across the new servers. Then the redundant storage architecture. Let's move to redundant storage architecture is designed to protect data by keeping multiple copies of data. Data is one of the most important assets for a business. Imagine that business store consumer information, financial records, employee information, and business documentation on storage devices. Redundant storage is reduce the risk of by keeping additional copies of data. In cloud, information data can also be replicated across different storage system or location. That means a hardware failure is on location doesn't necessarily result in permanent data loss. It helps business continue its operation with less interruption. Therefore, redundant storage is particularly important for business that depend heavily on their data. And then I'll talk about the benefits of redundant storage. There are many benefits of redundant storage. Is like the is first one is the data protection. Is keep multiple copies of important information. And the second one is a high reliability. Is on storage system becomes unavailable, another storage system may still provide access to the required system. The another benefit is disaster recovery. For example, it is a storage system is damaged because one of the major technical failure, the business may be able to recover data from another copy. The third one is that business continuity means that an organization can continue its important activities when unexpected problem occur. The final one is that customer trust. The customer expect business to protect their personal and transaction information. So in conclusion, I'll say that I discussed the main business benefits of cloud architecture. These benefits include cost reduction, scalability, flexibility, high availability, better performance, and business communication. I also discussed about the example of cloud architecture, including public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, multiple cloud. My overall both So overall, both load balancing and redundant storage is important because they can help cloud system become more reliable and resilient. Thank you very much. It's from me.